Hello there, this is Coach Sammy33. Out of conference scheduling is completed, so Florida State's schedule is locked in for season 32. So it'll be an interesting schedule because it's not a balance of 6 and 6. There will be 5 home games, 7 road games. Based on we had to make a shift in out of conference scheduling, we had one opponent that was locked in, and then, as is the case at a lot of times, things change. They went with another option. That's totally fine. We had to kind of scramble and fill that last spot. A little bit difficult given, some of the teams that we would have played. We had opportunities to play some other teams, but try to be respectful and hold the spots in for the people that you wanted to lock in. So only had 2 out of conference games to schedule. Two were locked in. One of the reasons why I picked this team in the first place. So with that said, let's take a look and see what is up for Florida State this season. And something that's a little bit unusual, we're going to have to get started out with conference play right away. If you watched college football last season, you totally understand Florida State. It wasn't just that they had a rough start, it just started rough in conference. So first up, we'll be taking on Georgia Tech at home. We'll be facing Coach UF 83198. We have not played before. He has a record of 73-60 overall in the NDL last season. He was UMass, went 5-8 on this year's game. He has a 6-7 season with Oklahoma State, with 6-6, lost a bowl game, and then a 4-8 season with Illinois. So we'll have to see what we can do against him. And immediately, like I said, having to jump in right away and play a conference game, and definitely got to get those cup games in. That's all I'll say. Get those cup games in. You see, offensively, Florida State's a 78 overall, 86 defensively. Obviously, we would like to hang our hat on the defense. Georgia Tech an 82, 83 offense, 74 defense, 82 overall. Compared to our 85 means this is a game that we have to win in terms of win goals, a +1 for us. Game number 2, also block 1, also a conference game, a very dangerous one here. Boston College on the road, and Coach Rock, I believe that's how you say it. If I said it wrong, I apologize. That probably is another touchdown he'll score on me. Coach Rock has had a great run so far in the NDL. He joined us on the PS5, so this will be his 4th season. He has a record of 33-20, and let me tell you, his record should probably be better than what it is. He has scheduled some of the nastiest out-of-conference groupings that we have seen. UMass, he went 9-3 in season 29. Michigan State, he went 8-6. And Kentucky 6-7. That Kentucky schedule was brutal. For the majority of the season, he had a top 10 strength of schedule. He is a madman. So we know we'll have our hands full. Also, he is a Boston College fan. He knows the team well. So that's a little bit of an advantage on his side in this matchup. Offensively, both teams are rated the same. We have the better defense by 4. I don't know how that equates to having an overall 1 higher. Seems like it would be a little bit higher, but it is what it is. Because of the difference of 1, it is a 0.5, a push basically for both sides. So hopefully block 1, week 2 will go better this season than last season. Remember, last season with Tulane, took a beating at Duke. Hopefully the ACC won't be as harsh, but we know we're in store for a really tough matchup. For week 3, we'll be headed to the Smurf Turf to take on Coach IROC, the Boise State Broncos, and the back-to-back reigning Heisman champion, Ashton Jeanty. So overalls are even once again between the two of our teams. Obviously a big difference, even though we're both 85s, is the team speed, and we're both very aware of that. Florida State clearly a much faster team than what Boise State's going to be. Offensively, they're an 83. I'm sure Ashton has a ton to do with that. Defensively, we're 86. So just like last season, we're going to have to try to scheme up ways to slow down Ashton and to force the Bronco offense into 3rd and long situation, 2nd and long, get them behind schedule. Usually we switch home and away, but because Florida State has a really nasty HFA, doing Coach Rock a solid and saying, hey, if we're going to play each other, I don't want to make this game completely unenjoyable. More than welcome for you to be at home. So we'll play on the blue turf once again. Historically, between the two of us, the record is 9-2. I have won the last 2 matchups. We played last season, Tulane winners 44-21, And then back in season 27, one of the last seasons on the PS3, Miami over Stanford 28-14. We'll see if we can keep that win streak going. For Coach Irock, heartbreaking losses to San Diego State last season. He ended up finishing 9-5, but lost in the Mountain West Championship game to San Diego State, on the last play of the game. And then when it played in the regular season, lost in the last minute as well. So he's clearly looking to try to bounce back. A good run with Boise so far. On this year's game, he is a combined 25-16 with Boise State. 2 appearances in the Mountain West Championship, just trying to get over the hump. Overall, Coach Irock, 75-49 record. Up next, we're going to be staying on the road. Week 4, we'll be headed to take on the California Golden Bears. Coach U.S. Marine. Overall, it's a pretty close again, 85 compared to 84. Cal has a better offense. We have the better defense. Speed, still probably in Florida State's favor. This will be our last road game, at least for this stretch, 3 in a row. Coach Marine, back-to-back seasons at Cal. Last season, he finished 4-8. The season before, he was South Florida, finishing 6-7. Where he lost his bowl game, but able to have a 500 season. Before that, Alabama 3-9. Collectively, 123 and 173 in the NDL. He has been a vet since season 10, so he's been around for a while. We've only played each other once, eons ago, season 16. He had Baylor, I had Nebraska, and the Huskers were able to win 41-10. So it's been a long time since we played each other. Be pretty cool to play against a vet, especially one that I haven't seen. I haven't really been able to catch many of his games either, so should be a fun matchup. Looking forward to it. And now things will start to get interesting with the schedule. Week 5, at home against Southern Methodist and Coach Block M. So we've had some fun trash talking in the ACC chat. I'm sure this game will definitely be an exciting one. Trust me, I'll be making sure to have the Ohio State fight song blaring in the background. Just, the mental edge, the mind games try to help us out. We will be at home for this one. SMU has an overall that's 2 points higher offensively. Clearly, you see where the advantages are. They have a better offense by 7. We have a better defense by 6. Home field advantage hopefully will help even that out some. And then the difference is a 2 overall. Because it's within 2, it's just a half game to the win goal. So this is only a 0.5 for both sides. So a push. Should be a fun game. We have played once before. I don't know if he remembers, but he was controlling Michigan at the time, and I was controlling Kentucky. It was week 23, season 23. He won 34-26. Thankfully, we were not playing at Michigan. That probably would have been a lot tougher playing at the big house, but we lose by 8. So we'll see if we can even that record out just a smidge. Since he's been at Southern Methodist, 8-6, 8-5. 8's been the lucky number for him. I know he's expecting to do more, and he's definitely looking to beat the hell out of me in this one. We have tried to get this as a sanctioned game where 35ing is going to be taken off. I'm sure that the admins probably won't go for it, but hey, gloves are off for this one. We'll see how things go. At some point this season, he'll hit his 200th career NDL win. He's at 195 and 109. So he's looking to hit a nice milestone. In return, we're looking to get a dub and keep that trash talk going in the ACC chat. All right, a rivalry game, and quite the big one too. Week 6 at Clemson, and El Jefe, or Jeffrey as he's better known in the NDL lore. He's had a hell of a run so far in the NDL. Started out with Temple, and he started out on this year's game. Collectively 52-8 with a college football postseason berth last season. He's got 2 conference championships, won one with Temple in season 29 while going 13-1. Season 30 with Kentucky, go Big Blue, 10-3. Very impressive what he did with Kentucky, especially with that daunting gauntlet that you have, that is the SEC. And then season 31 last season, a Clemson fan, he gets them, goes 13-0 in the regular season, beats his best bud twice, and unfortunately loses in the playoffs. He finished 13-1. He's got 2 conference championships. Definitely will be a tall task. Tougher dealing with that defensive line. Tougher dealing with that great running back as well. So we'll have our hands full in this one. We'll have to see if we can scheme it up. Hey, I faced Genty a couple times. I have also faced Caleb Johnson before he got nerfed with the abilities. We'll see what we can do. It'll be a tall order for sure. But we just want to make it competitive and see if we can hang in the game and make it an interesting fourth quarter. We'll see what we can do overall. See, it's clearly in Clemson's favor. I don't mind at all. I love the challenge. 90 to 85 offense plus 11 defense plus 2. So this doesn't count against us in terms of win goal. But I don't know. I don't want to boost his ego anymore, but he's one of the big reasons why I wanted to come to the ACC and take this team. So I was looking at games that for sure would get played. I wanted to challenge to take it on Clemson and see what I could do against that rushing attack. I'm sure I'll probably pass a little bit more because I'll be keying in on it, but it'll be a nice chess match. I'm looking forward to facing them, and we'll see how things go. Week 7, we're still on the road. We'll be headed to Massachusetts, taking on UMass and Coach MCX. Career record in the NDL 143 and 170. He's been around since season 5, so a long time vet. Last 2 seasons he coached at James Madison, combined record of 4-20. So he's looking to parlay a good season with UMass into a solid pick headed into college football 26. We have played. I did not know because I was kind of curious, but we played a couple of times. As it stands right now, I'm fortunate to be 2-0. Season 10, I had Missouri. Yes, I know I'm a Nebraska fan. It's a little blasphemous, but hey, you do the things that you need to do to try to get the teams you want, okay? Don't judge me. Missouri over Boston College 28-21. And then in season 12, we met again in Sunbelt action, Arkansas State over FIU 30-16. So with the overalls, you can see clearly the talent on the field is in favor of Florida State. This adds 1 to our win goal. We have the advantage defensively, not as much offensively, but still 5 points is a pretty significant advantage. We'll be on the road. They'll look to get off to a quick start. We'll have to weather the storm and see if we can scheme our way to a victory. The boys head back home for week 8. So we'll get a couple of games at home, taking on Duke and Coach Narcan, man. So I'm going to be honest, I'll hold a little bit of a grudge against Duke. They gave us a pretty solid beating last season with Tulane, our only loss in sanctioned games for the season. So definitely looking to get some revenge this time. I won't have to travel to Duke, be at home. You see the difference of the overall. It's +1 offense in favor of Duke. I'm well aware of what they can do. Trust me, that game sticks out to me. Defensively, we're in favor. Hopefully the home crowd will get us into this game and give us a little bit of an extra advantage. It'll add half a game to the win goal. Coach Narcan, man, back-to-back seasons at NC State, combined 11-14. He joined us on the PS5. His combined record so far is 19-29. Always played in the power conference, so always having to play against tougher competition, tougher teams. It'll be our first matchup. Be really curious to see how this one pans out. So when we talk about matchups that made me want to pick Florida State, this was one, and I have to give an assist to our commissioner in training, Mr. Andy, the NIT organizer, because that game made me want to play against Miami. It's a really fun game. Coach Dealer. Thankfully, we're at home. We played him in a neutral site with Tulane. It was a fun game. This time we'll be at home. Same rated team. I'll have an 85 versus Tulane being an 85, but clearly Florida State's a little more fit to try to match up speed-wise with Miami. So we'll see how this game goes. Dealer, a vet of the league. He's been around since season 14. He's had Miami for 2 different stints. He's won conference championships twice over the 5 seasons that he's coached Miami. He's had 3 double-digit win seasons. 2 seasons ago, he played in the college football playoffs, won his first-round matchup, and if not for an accidental pitch, he would have been headed on to the semis. A heartbreaking loss to South Carolina. He's looking to get that train back on track. So far on this year's game, he's had Miami for all 3 seasons. He's had a winning season for all 3 overall with Miami. He's had winning seasons all 5 years. On the PS3, he has a combined record of 27-13. Total record in the NDL, 185-98. We played a couple of times in regular season matchups. Back in season 17, when I had Nebraska, he had Maryland, squeaked by 31-28. Season 21, I had Michigan, he had Purdue, squeaked by 41-38. 3-point games, we love those. And then season 25, the first time that I was at home against him, he had Nevada, I had Southern Mississippi, won by a touchdown, 41-34. So our NIT game was a 2-score game, I think, 3-score game, somewhere around there. I don't remember. Things kind of fell off in the second half. We were trying to keep it close and we just couldn't keep up. But we've been able to have some really fun games decided by 1 score. So I'm really looking forward to matching up with him again. It being a rivalry game should make it really fun, amp up the tension, amp up the pressure. But this is one of the reasons why I was happy to take Florida State. I look forward to the challenge. For week 10, we're going to head back on the road and we're taking on North Carolina and Petty P. So we'll be meeting up again. We just played last season. We almost played again in the NIT as well. He had East Carolina last season. I had Tulane. We met in the conference championship game. Game came down to the fourth quarter, decided late. So it'll be another matchup between us. It should be fun. We both have the same rated team in 85, so it'll be a push in terms of win goal, 0.5. Defensively, we're slightly rated higher. Offensively, he's slightly rated higher. He's taking on his new hometown team, we'll say. And we look forward to having another matchup in the ACC, Mr. Pat. So far in this year's game, he's had a lot of success. 3 consecutive winning seasons, 8-5 with Middle Tennessee, 9-4 with Utah, and 12-2 with East Carolina. Combined record of 190 and 116, so maybe he gets that 200th career NDL win this season. We'll have to see. But he's been very successful with his time in the NDL. We're looking forward to seeing how things pan out. I'm not sure if he's planning on trying to dynasty them or go elsewhere. But North Carolina under Bill definitely will be a solid team defensively. Looking forward to another matchup against him. Thankfully, the NDL Cup gods may have happened to lose the bracket. So when they remade the bracket, we weren't facing each other in the Cup grouping. So kind of nice. It was fun playing them, but you really never want to play a team twice when you have to play them in group play. It makes things a little awkward. So should be a fun matchup. We'll both be used to our teams by the time we get to this point of the season. So I'm looking forward to it. We're getting close to the end of the season, week 11, at home against Notre Dame. I know Rain definitely will have this game circled on his calendar. A couple of seasons ago, he did have a loss to Florida State that put a wrench into his plans of making the college football playoffs. So Florida State probably just is on the radar for that and that alone. We're going to be at home, so we'll be playing in the same place that upset took place. The overall in favor of Notre Dame by 3, so this doesn't add to our win goal. Offensively, +5 for Notre Dame. Defensively, +4. We haven't played in an actual regular season game, but we did play a couple of seasons ago in a cup game. He had Notre Dame. I had New Mexico. As you can imagine, it really didn't go well. It was still a fun game. I wish I could have made it more competitive. So I'm really looking forward to getting another shot at Rain with a better squad, with a little more team speed to see if we can maybe make it a more competitive game, make him work for this one. He's got Notre Dame this will be his 3rd season in a row, so his first 2 seasons with them, he combined to go 22-5. So a really successful run with the Fighting Irish. He has a college football playoff appearance. Season 29, he went 13-1 with Central Michigan. So he's had a lot of success on this year's game. If you're doing the math, that is 35-6. Impressive. Overall, his record in the NDL is 178-104. So he's looking to have another big season, get to double-digit wins, and see if he can get back in the college football playoffs. By the time we get to this point in the season, I don't know what our season looks like, but I know Notre Dame probably isn't going to be able to afford a loss. So we know we're going to get their best shot, and hopefully we can give them ours. And after playing 11 games in a row, team is finally going to get somewhat of a break. So we couldn't set it up where we had a block where we had a full week off, but I usually like to try to do that. It makes things very easy. Just not going to pan out that way. That's okay with the way the out of conference games that were locked in were done. So in weeks 12 and in weeks 13, we're going to get a bye as we set the stage for our last game in what I hope and expect to be the funnest game of the season for Florida State, because our final game of the season, man, this is going to be a tough one. Headed to the Swamp to take on the Florida Gators and Coach Big Mike. Every game I played with Big Mike has been a fun one. It's been stressful. It's been a challenge. Definitely draws the best out of me because I don't want to get blown out. I don't want to be that guy getting 35. So it's definitely a challenge playing against Mike, and one that, I'll be honest, is a very enjoyable one. All of our games have been fun. And he is historically one of the best coaches in the history of the NDL. He's been around since the very beginning. 400 wins and 86 losses, multiple championships, multiple cups, and he's got his school for the second season in this year's game. Last season he went 9-4. Really shocking that he didn't make the college football playoffs. I know he's looking to bounce back even with the wave of coaches in the SEC that they have now. The group there is going to be tough. Never doubt Big Mike. Went 9-4 last season, 11-3 with Bama the season before, made the college football playoffs, and then with Missouri with that trash defense, 12-2. Not saying that as a Nebraska fan. If you've seen Missouri on this game, you know in the SEC that defense is atrocious. Still, very good season. Man, I could go on and on talking about him. He's only had 2 losing seasons in his history of the NDL. One with Florida, he went 5-7 back in season 10, and then 5-6 with Arkansas in season 2. Like, even when he's bad, it's still just under 500. It's not, historically bad, And he's done a lot with Florida. All of his national championships have come with the Gators. Season 7, season 14, which he also won the Cup, and season 16. And if you want to throw in season 6, he also won the Cup that season. Man, we're going to have our hands full. He's got multiple seasons where he did not take a loss. 2 with Florida. That would be season 16 and 7 when he won the championship. And then also season 19 with Boise State. Multiple one-loss seasons. We don't even have to go into all that. I'm not going to bore you with all the numbers. You can look them up on the Hall of Fame page. But it's going to be very tough. We know that. We played in the Cup last season, Tulane against Florida. It was a game that came down to the last minute. A ton of fun to play. And then we faced each other twice in the regular season. I don't remember if we played back against each other back in the Cup on the late PS2 days or PS3. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But Michigan, I had Michigan. He had Wisconsin. That game has an asterisk. I won 20-17, but I was in the dorms at SDSU, and that dorm Wi-Fi was pretty trash. So I don't really count that as a win. The record books show it was, but that was a terrible game to play. I know, I felt bad, but I didn't have any other way of playing it. And then season 17, I had Nebraska. He had Missouri. That's probably my best season in the history of the NDL. I won 41-38. It came down to the last drive of the game. That's back when Mike was a terror with his free safety. So a really, really fun coach to play. I'm hoping that we can make this competitive, especially with it being week 14. Again, I don't know how my season looks. I don't know how his season looks, but I know if Florida is going to be going to the college football playoffs, they probably aren't going to be able to afford a loss in this game. So us matching up against each other, I get a chance to play spoiler. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get his best shot. Wouldn't want it any other way.